So It Comes at Night has one of the most deceptive marketing campaigns of any film I've seen in recent years. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you're a horror, sci-fi, kung fu movie fan, deceptive marketing campaigns are where it's at. You know, you remember the 70s and the 80s where distributors would buy some like Filipino horror movie and just retitle it to a kung fu movie, and now it's a kung fu movie, now it's a Bruce Lee movie. So, you know, these movie companies, these movie studios, they gotta make you watch the movie. But It Comes at Night is particularly nasty. It Comes at Night has been marketed as this cabin in the woods, Evil Dead, paranormal, evil in the woods type of movie. It Comes at Night. Well, there's no it. What comes at night? The anxiety, emotions, lucid dreams, all kinds of stuff. Really, what It Comes at Night is this emotional family drama of a small family unit in this isolated house in the woods, in a world that is under the siege of some kind of bioterror, contamination, illness, which causes people to die. And it's all about this. It's just emotional family drama of this tiny family unit who the pressures inside and outside of this family unit. The performances from the entire cast are incredible, headed by Joel Edgerton as the father, the paternal element in the story, and he really carries the film on his back. He's the best part of this film. He's an incredible actor, even when he's wearing a gas mask, as these people are like to do when they're outside, because there's all this paranoia of they don't really know why they're being why the illness is being spread, but nobody seems to turn on a radio or listen to anything. They got the gas masks, which are supposed to protect them from something. You know, I always was looking at the gas masks. Are they rated for the contagion? You know, but even when he's wearing the gas mask, you know who Joel Edgerton is. You can tell he has this swagger, this performance. He's great. And the whole cast, his wife and his young son, who reminded me of that actor who was in that Madonna video, just like a prayer, who was like, you know, who got lynched because of Madonna, and then he came back as a black Jesus statue, and like Madonna's love saved him, and all that stuff. When I was seeing the kid and his kind of stunned, you see his stunned face a lot in this film. It permeates this film. It's stunned. He walks around in hallways and stunned, and he goes into attics and listens to people talking like this. But I kept thinking about Madonna, just like a prayer. But that's my problem. The film is as I said, wonderful performances and beautiful camera work, beautiful cinematography. This film is one of the most beautiful looking films that I've seen in a long time. It's full of the skin tones, the chocolates and the cream colors, and the earthy organic tones of the film, which contrast against the cold bluish greenery of the forest. Incredible. And there seems to be a progression of the color. The film begins, you know, with this horrible incident, the death of the grandfather character from this illness, and it's cold and bluish, and then it moves, and the color palette moves into these earth tones as this other family joins Joel Edgerton's family in the woods, and there's belonging, but then there's distrust, there's paranoia, and we get back into the coldness and the, you know, and I mean, the film is lit. You know, there is this cabin in the woods. There's this, well, it's not a cabin in the woods. It's a 2-story house in the woods, lit with these LED lights, which they charge through solar power. And at night, it's a very dark, dark film. Literally, incredible movie. So the look of the film is amazing, but it doesn't really deliver on the promise of the marketing. And psychological horror, where there's like a monster or a danger and you never really see it, but it's built up so much in your mind that it's like fulfilling, that it's even more terrifying than anything that you could really see. I think It Comes at Night, I've thought about it, and it engages in what I call psychological storytelling, where you're given these threads of a plot, threads of a story, of a danger, of a conflict, but they're never really connected. And so they're kind of hovering off into space. And if you're someone who likes to make up like your own plot, and oh well, the illness causes lucid dreaming and all of this stuff, and this and that, and the red door, and the this and the dog, and the if you enjoy doing that, then I think you will enjoy It Comes at Night, because it engages very healthily or unhealthy in psychological storytelling, where you can pretty much make up the plot yourself, because there's not really much of a plot. There are these kind of threads of a plot, and then the film just kind of ends when you feel that there should be like a final unifying, 5 or 10 minutes, 3 minutes, just give us some, unify it together. It's a problem with these kind of apocalyptic stories. I mean, It Comes at Night shares these same problems of like the 80s, like apocalyptic films, like The Day After, and all these things where basically everybody dies at the end, or it's some kind of fake saccharine ending. So you always go like really unfulfilling. Either way, it's unfulfilling. So It Comes at Night still has that same kind of problem, so how are you going to work around that? Well, hey, you just make the movie. But there have been some comparisons to The Thing, and I think that has to do with the threads of distrust and paranoia, combined with the fact that Joel Edgerton looks so much and acts so much like MacReady in The Thing, and he has his big beard, and it's like MacReady, it's like The Thing. That's the only reason why people are bringing up because he looks like Kurt Russell. And he's as good an actor as Kurt Russell. He's a great actor. You could see the sparks of a movie star being born in little films like this, And I thought he was good in other stuff like Midnight Special, but he shines in this film. He keeps it together. You hear most of his dialogue in the trailer, because that's most of the dialogue he's kind of unifying the movie. We needed some more Thomas the Explainer scenes between the young boy and maybe the other family's wife. We just needed, I needed somebody to explain something, because ultimately the film it feels unfulfilling. It feels like you're, as an audience member, you're wanting to go with this, and you're going through this experience, and it feels like the movie is kind of leading you down a blind alley. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm putting my whatever hour and a half, and I'm putting it into the hands of this filmmaker, and the filmmaker is throwing it away. That's what it feels like in a way. But I'm gonna rewatch it again, because I feel like maybe I missed something. I feel the film engages way too heavily in psychological storytelling, whereas there's none of the threads really kind of come together in a substantial way. I think this is one of the few movies in a long time where there are audible gasps at the end credits. People are like, oh, "That's it." That's it. And it was unified. It was throughout the theater. It was not just a few troublemakers. It was the audience who were going along with it, and were just dropped off a cliff. So should you see It Comes at Night? I think you should give it a try. You should give it a try. It'll go streaming. It'll go the way of video on demand. It'll go the way that modern movies go. It's an enjoyable film for the performances, which are incredible performances, better than the plot of the movie really deserves. Beautiful camera work, beautiful cinematography. But just like films like The Road and those post-apocalyptic movies, there's something about the end of them that's kind of unfulfilling, and maybe intentionally unfulfilling. But at the same time, it seems like it shrouds its own incompetencies as far as plot. It's just a tough story, and that's the only way it could end. You could end tough, but you could end you could take the audience to an emotional point instead of just letting the audience kind of like be the little kid wandering around the mall looking for its parent. It's like you're the filmmaker. The audience is like the little kid in the mall, and he's looking for it. He's like, Dad, where is Dad? Daddy filmmaker's gone off. He's gone home. And now the audience, little kid, is left to wander around the mall and get all kinds of trouble. So don't be that filmmaker. Don't be the filmmaker who lets his audience, little kid, get God knows what would happen to him at the mall. The filmmaker dad has to take the kid, take him home, and I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm very conflicted on this movie. There's some incredibly admirable, brilliant. The performances are blindingly good.